What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, Indiana Jones was announced for the PlayStation 5 April 17th or something like that, yeah. Forza Horizon 5, it's coming. Is it out already or is it coming out soon or whatever? You know, two big bangers from Xbox feeding the starving PlayStation ponies. The emaciated ponies on the abandoned farm need some hay. They need some sustenance. They need a little bucket with the stuff and put it on. And the more that I think about it, right, the more diabolical. I used that word last video. The more diabolical it seems. Diabolical in a good way if you're an Xbox dude. A bad way if you're a pony, a Donkey Unicorn. So, like, first Xbox is like, we just, you know, Matt Booty's like, yeah, we're gonna spend them out of business or whatever he said, right? So they're using their money to do things that they can't. Xbox is using their money, Microsoft is using their money to do things that Sony, PlayStation can't, because they is broke. They broke, and they a joke. They broke. And so, they're like, yeah, let's just buy the biggest thing that we could buy. It just happened that the biggest thing that you could buy in video games just happened to be maybe possibly up for sale. And it's like, psh, we got you. And then boom, boom, it happened. All right? So, they're pushing their money around. And it's like, ooh, is that 69D chess? Possibly, because it's like, oh, yeah. And you look at what Sony was saying. You look at what Jim Ryan was saying. Crying Jim Ryan. Lying, crying, flying Jim Ryan. You see what he was saying, right? He was like, oh, they're going to make it exclusive. And he pretty much went down the line of all the things that Sony did this generation and said, oh, Xbox is going to do it, so it's bad news. Meanwhile, Xbox is like, and they did none of them. They did zero. They said, nope, we're going to keep it on the PlayStation. Don't worry about it. 10 years? Yeah, sure. They didn't even have to sign that because Xbox is like, Donkey Unicorns and ponies will buy anything for $70. The beauty of that whole thing, that's just the beginning of it, right? Is that they have no choice on PlayStation. They have to buy the game. They have no Game Pass choice where it is, maybe I'll sub for a month or two, pay half the price. Or pay for 1 month, I just play it for a month and that's it. Whatever. But no. So the hardcore or the people who only play Call of Duty, they buy it, so it's only one cost. They buy it on PlayStation, it doesn't matter. It's better for Xbox because they get that cash cheddar, right? And so that's the beginning, at the top of the mountain, the little snowball, starting to collect some steam, starting to collect some other snowflakes. And so, boom, they do that. Then they have all these other games from Bethesda, you know, Doom, the Dark Ages, and a couple of back catalog things. Sea of Thieves, they throw on there, see how it is. You know, they were testing the waters. Like, okay, well, are they going to buy that? What games do they buy? What games don't they buy? They don't buy Pentiment because it's a little indie game. It's only one off. It's like, but they look at the games, the service games that go on there, kind of successful. The other games, like Hi-Fi Rush, not so much. Because, one, Donkey Unicorns and Ponies don't buy games. You know, PlayStation. And two, the vast majority of people who are PlayStation owners and players are casual. So that means that they grew up with Fortnite, Call of Duty, Halo, all those black hole games. That's what they call them, right? And so they said, what we got? It feels like, hey, what do we got? I mean, Phil knows, but he's just testing. He's like, hey, Matthew. What we got? He's like, we got Sea of Thieves. He's like, see, when did that come out again? When? Like looking on his phone. When did man, that was a long time. I gotta scroll so many pages back. How many years? I was out for 4 or 5 years. Like, wow. Yeah. We got how many? We got like 45 million people played it. That was pretty good. Oh yeah, that's all right. Okay. So we just gonna throw it. Okay. How much you gonna put it? what is it, like $60 over there? So $59.99, something like that. They get no discounts on PlayStation because they like to buy their games. You see how all the things that they've been saying, that they've been doing, is coming back to slap them in the face. Oh, I like to buy my games. Nah, welfare pass this, welfare pass that. Meanwhile, y'all ain't got no games. And since y'all like to buy games, Microsoft is like, you notice Microsoft ain't saying nothing. They're just putting their games up there, you know, and they letting the numbers talk. They're letting the numbers speak. Meanwhile, Indiana Jones is selling is like the most pre-ordered over. What was the game? Something, and then Forza is like right behind that. It was Assassin's Creed. I think it was Assassin's Creed. Or whatever, some new game, whatever the new game is. Obviously, it's not a PlayStation game because they ain't got no games. They ain't releasing no games or whatever. But what I wanted to really talk about, right, is Indiana Jones and Forza, right? Forza Horizon 5. Now, Forza Horizon 5, like I just said, older game, years old, whatever. But they have, I don't know what the base price, the entry level price is, but they have a early access, and we're familiar with the early access over on Game Pass, because they basically, we get the game, right? But if you want, you spend like $30, you get early access, you get the DLC when it comes out, and I'm like, that's worth it just for like the DLC part, but then you get early access and you might get some other perks. I'm like, all right, cool, $30, let's go. If I really, really like the game and I want to play it forever and ever, I'll buy it at a discount, thank you. And you get a discount on when you buy the Ultimate Edition, because it's like $30, then they take out $4 or $5 or something like that. So I'm like, all right, cool. But now I'm looking at the Indiana Jones, right? And I was looking at the page. They showed the PS5 page. Somebody screenshotted it. And I was looking at it, I was like, oh, okay. So it's the regular version, just the game, $69.99. Then the Ultimate, which comes with the DLC, which is the Order of the Giants or something. I can't remember. And some other stuff, maybe. But it's definitely the DLC and early access. Anything else, I don't remember. That one is $99. Now, I hear all these people talk about, oh, Rockstar's going to raise their prices to $100. Oh, my gosh. Are y'all dumb? Microsoft is already doing it to the people who love to buy their games. And so they're like, yeah, $99. And guess what? The $99 version is on the top charts because ponies are dumb. They're just like, meh. I'm just gonna, well, actually, no, I take that back, because it's not ponies. It's just uneducated casuals who are like, they either got the money or they don't realize that they can get it earlier and less money, all those things. And and some people are like, oh, it's the best versions on PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm like, no. Chaos Lounge had a video about this. It's like, yo, the PC version is the best version. And once again, this goes back to the last video. If that new console that Microsoft is putting out is kind of short of just like a PC, with lack of a better term, who's to say that that version won't be the best version? It's so crazy how Microsoft is just kind of like doing one thing here, right? It's like, oh, okay. All right, yeah. Oh, we're gonna buy ABK, so that giant contingent of players that are on PlayStation gonna have to pay us. Okay? We're gonna change the game. We're not changing the rules. We're just changing where the money flows. It's flowing to us. Thank you very much. And then they say, well, I mean, what else can we do? Oh, we got this old game that we put out and we made a lot of money off it, but we can make some more money. Oh, okay. They put it out 5 months later. They're charging way more than what they charged us who got it first. I'm just saying, I paid not even $30 for that, and what y'all are getting for $99. Oh man. And Dr. Unicorns and Ponies, they're still trying to stay. They're still trying to be like, yay, we won because Xbox games on PlayStation. Meanwhile, they're paying for the payers. They're the payers over there. They're paying inflated prices as opposed to Xbox fans who get a discount. They get the super discount. We get the super discount. So, you know, and you know, people who say like, oh, y'all are brokies, y'all got, you know, blah blah blah. Why don't y'all like to buy your games and all this stuff? I'm like, the days of buying your games are fleeting. I mean, they have fleeted already, but I'm just saying that they're escaping very quickly because you don't own games, and it's not the same. Like when we had cartridges, right? And the consoles were not connected to the internet. You could buy a piece of plastic. You could buy another piece of plastic. You could put one piece of plastic in another piece of plastic and be like, yay, it's mine. Technically, you have the physical object that is yours, but the actual code on the little circuit board, on the chips, on the cartridge, that's not yours. And so what they did was just take out the cartridge. They took out, you know, your ability to play it if they wanted to, take it away from you. And that's where we are today. So when you buy a game, digital or physical, which might not even have the actual code on the disc, you still have no guarantee that you can play that game anytime, anywhere, regardless. If you got a battery pack powering your console, you might not be able to play because you got to authenticize it. You know, it's all the protections that they want to put in place for anti-cheat and all that stuff, and anti-piracy, and this is how they are doing it with online authentication, basically. So when you sit here and say, "Oh, I buy my games, I just don't want to rent it from Game Pass," you're an idiot, because you're buying nothing. You're buying a license. Meanwhile, I'll rent a license. If I want to really buy it, I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. And I'm looking at the different ecosystems. I'm looking at Xbox. I'm looking at PlayStation. I'm like, first, y'all are dumb because y'all still can't play PlayStation 3 games unless you have a PlayStation 3. If you have a disc, you can't play that disc unless you have a PlayStation 3. You should think about what your plastic box god is doing for you. For us over here, you know, you have the disc, but it's all kind of entwined in how everything's working today. So you got the disc, you throw it in, it goes, hey, that's the license. There's just a key now. And then they go drag it off of the server. And it's like, okay, well, as long as they keep their servers up, and that's not a guarantee, but, you know, maybe down the road they say, hey, we're going to get out of video games, but all the games you bought and stuff, you guys have the licenses, just download them, put it on a hard drive, see you later. That's possible. You know, they can go the GOG route and not break them, but, you know, unleash them from the shackles of DRM. You know, that's always a possibility, but, you know, I mean, they're a big corporation, so and Xbox is a really big part of the machine now, so it's kind of hard. It's hard for me to see them walking away from it anytime soon. But yeah, anyway. The main thing was that whole the $99, the $100 Indiana Jones, and people are just scooping it up, man. These casuals are scooping it up, and it's destroying the narratives and the hearts and minds of these ponies and not the unicorns. But hey, the evolution and the downgrade and the degradation and the downfall of PlayStation continues to happen. I will keep talking about it. I'll keep you updated on anything that happens new. We'll see. And yeah, so let me know in the comments below what you think about Indiana Jones being $100 for PlayStation players. Yeah. Oh, sorry, that was a little bit of a dirt griggity laugh, but anyway, I appreciate, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Tilt the weight.